This is the L2C Media Network, and this is Steve Baxley, Sports Final, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. And now, with the stories, the headlines, and the details of a big old Friday night in sports, here's Steve. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to a Friday night impossible to even imagine. There we go. About as tough to imagine as this. Anyway, got a lot for you tonight, including what body bags were tossed out of ESPN. Oh, this is going to be an interesting night, an interesting week. And can we just get started with this? And we shall right now. It is time to go to work. Our sports show is here. Pour vous. And that's semi a little bit of a lot to do. And it's only a Friday. So here we go. Everything's popping up. Let's go to it in college football action. Oh, are you ready for this, kids? I know I is. But Shadur Sanders, a four-star quarterback, football world in September when it hired NFL Hall of Fame defensive back Deion Sanders to lead its football program. That's right. The player known as Prime Time got his first prime recruit on Friday afternoon, and it's somebody he knows well, his son. Four-star quarterback Shadur Sanders announced on Twitter that he has flipped from Florida Atlantic and changed commitment to the Tigers. Younger Sanders has star written all over him. The 6'1", 198-pound pro passer out of Trinity Christian School in Theta Hill, Texas. You have to say it like this. He is the fourth-ranked pro-style quarterback and number 229 overall player in this season's recruiting class. He threw for 8,796 yards and 123 touchdowns, 2017 to 2019. Cedar Hill won state championships in all three seasons. Now, he has drawn rave reviews from scouts on the recruiting trail. He is also the first four-star commitment in Jackson State's class, which also includes three-star defensive tackle Brasden Ross and three-star athlete Herman Ross. All five of those players committed to the Tigers after Sanders was hired on September 21st. Not bad. So, they indeed. Okay. In Major League Baseball headlines, oh boy, the universal DH is so popular that, well, you're going to love this. The recently completed and yet shortened 2020. Hi there. You want to act up there? MLB major. Let's try that again. The recently completed 2020 MLB season featured two notable firsts: an expanded playoff field of 16 teams and use of the designated hitter in National League games. Those fronts raised the possibility that a larger postseason field and the universal DH would at some point become permanent fixtures in Major League Baseball. Now, not long ago, Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred implied that of seeing either rule change back for 2021 was unlikely. Behind the scenes, however, there may be some movement in that direction. At front, here's a small part of a wide-ranging piece from Jeff Pazan of ESPN. Is the DH ever happening in the National League next year? Still unclear. Players want it, sources said, but owners want the players to agree to expanded playoffs for the 2021 season. In exchange, understandably, the players don't find that to be a particularly equitable trade. The complicating factor is that most front offices would love it. Going back to pitchers hitting after a full season in which they didn't doesn't register right, particularly when the issue is going to be educated for good in a new collective bargaining agreement after the 2021 season. Some executives believe the universal DH will stick around even if the Major League Baseball Players Association doesn't agree to the expanded playoffs. What MLB would trade for it is unclear. Players in general want the DH in the National League because most pitchers don't particularly enjoy hitting or risking injury on the bases. As well, the DH in the National League theoretically means more higher paying jobs for hitters. Now, knowing this, the owners want something in exchange for it that appears to be permanent expansion of the playoffs. Now, as Pazan notes, the players will likely see that as too much of a concession on their end. There are, of course, ways to make an expanded postseason more palatable to the union. Perhaps their share of the postseason revenues can be increased, or perhaps the regular season can be reduced from 162 games. Everything's a negotiation, as they say. There's already plenty of enthusiasm within the game for a universal DH, and at some point it's almost certainly going to happen. The question is whether it happens in time for 2021. Pazan's report indicates that having the DH in 2021 is more likely than it has seemed mere days ago. And as for the expanded playoffs, 16 teams is unlikely. Rather, a 14-team field that includes a bye for the team with the best record in each league is indeed the likely path going forward. So let's enjoy what the fruits of what we have. Baseball needs it. All right, more college football to give you, and we give it to you with respect. And our next college football, Miami, Florida quarterback, Derek King, may have faded to underdog status in the Heisman Trophy race after back-to-back statistically underwhelming outings, but the Hurricane signal caller is still producing some magic. King threw for 5 touchdowns tonight as he led number 11 Miami back from a 10-point fourth-quarter deficit to beat North Carolina State 44-41. The go-ahead score came on a 54-yard pass from King to Mike Harley with 2:43 remaining. Then, after a Miami interception, King ran for a game-clinching first down on a third-down play with 2:26 remaining. With NC State having used all its timeouts, the Hurricanes were able to run the clock out and improved to 6-1. King threw for 430 yards on 31-41 passing, also ran for 105 yards on 15 attempts to lead the Hurricanes in rushing. Now, despite having just 11 scheduled games, Miami is now just one win shy of its total from last season with 4 games left to play. King's heroics kept the Hurricanes in contention for a spot in the ACC title game. Ooh, this is getting good in the ACC. Hey, I want to remind you, tomorrow night on the Sports Final, the Rabbi back live and back with his predictions for Sunday night, or for the Sunday games in Week 9. And speaking of Week 9, here it is. It's time for your injury report in the National Football League. Yes. So here we go. And we begin with the Giants of Washington. Giants RB Devonta Freeman with an ankle injury. Thank you, guys. And cornerback Ryan Lewis, the hamstring, are both out. Washington, offensive tackle Jaron Kristen Sr., knee. Wide receiver Dontrell Inman, hamstring. Both are doubtful. For the Seahawks at Bills, running back Chris Carson, foot. Guard Michael Upati, back. Defensive end Benson Mayawa, ankle. Cornerback Shaquille Griffin, concussion, hamstring. Running back Carlos Hyde, hamstring, and safety Hugo Armadi with the hamstring are all out. Meanwhile, for the Bills, cornerback Josh Norman, center Mitch Morris, cornerback Josh Norman, hamstring, center Mitch Morris, concussion, linebacker Matt Pilando, pectoral, running back TJ Yeldon, back, running back Taiwan Jones, hamstring, they're all out. Defensive DL Vernon Butler, groin. Defensive line Vernon Butler, groin. Offensive line Cody Ford, knee. Defensive end Daryl Johnson, knee. Tight end Dawson Knox, calf, are all questionable. Ravens and the Colts. Ravens, running back Mark Ingram, ankle. Wide receiver Chris Moore, thigh, doubtful. Cornerback Jimmy Smith, back. Wide receiver Devin Duvernay, thigh, questionable. Colts, wide receiver Ashton Doolin, knee, is out. Wide receiver T.Y. Hilton, groin, is doubtful. T.E. Mo Ali Cock, knee. Wide receiver Marcus Johnson, knee, questionable. Lions at the Vikings, well, Kenny Galladay is out with a hip injury, wide receiver. Defensive back Tracy Walker, foot. Running back Jamal Agnew, ribs. They're all out. Offensive guard Joe Dahl, back. Linebacker Christian Jones, knee. Cornerback Daryl Roberts, hip and groin. Offensive tackle Hala Poliate Vatai, foot, are questionable. Vikings cornerback Holton Hill, who found his serologies. Foot, cornerback Mark Fields, the second, chest. Cornerback Cameron Dantzler, concussion, they're all out. Cornerback Harrison Hand, hamstring, is questionable. We continue. The Panthers at the Chiefs. The Panthers, offensive tackle Russell Okung, calf, doubtful. Safety Jeremy Chee, defensive tackle Zach Kerr, toe. Defensive end Marquis Haynes, shoulder, are all questionable. Chiefs, tackle Mitchell Schwartz, back, he's out. Defensive end Frank Clark, knee. Wide receiver Sammy Watkins, hammy, is questionable, or are questionable, or back up there. Sammy Watkins, hamstring, questionable. Let's keep going. Bears and Titans. For the Bears, defensive tackle John Jenkins with an ankle. Offensive lineman Sam Mustapia, knee. Defensive end Roy Robertson, Harris, shoulder. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, right shoulder. They're out. Tight end Cole Kmet, groin, questionable. Titans wide receiver Adam Humphries, concussion. Punter Brett Kerr, wrist, out. Defensive end Jadavion Clowney, knee. Cornerback Ty Smith, shoulder. They're questionable. Texans at the Jags. Linebacker Kyle Emanuel for the Texans, concussion, out. Jaguars running back Devon Azagable, hamstring. Cornerback Garner Minshew II, right thumb. Linebacker Dakota Allen, ankle, out. Shaquille Quartermain, knee, questionable. Ooh, there's a lot of questions. Broncos at Falcons. For the Broncos, cornerback AJ AJ Bowie, concussion, and he's out. Wide receiver Dante Spencer, shoulder, doubtful. Cornerback Bryce Callan, ankle. Running back Philip Lindsay, foot. Wide receiver Tim Patrick, hamstring. Tight end Nick Vanette, foot. Safety Trey Marshall, illness, are all questionable. For the Falcons, cornerback Jordan Miller, oblique. Defensive end Tech McKinley, groin. Defensive end Dante Fowler, hamstring. They're all out. Wide receiver Calvin Ridley, foot, is questionable. For the Raiders and the Chargers, Raiders defensive tackle Maurice Hurts, ankle. Arden K, foot, out. Running back Josh Jacobs, knee, illness. Safety Jeff Heath, hip. Tackle Colton Miller, ankle. Cornerback Trayvon Mullen, hamstring, are all questionable. Chargers Defensive end Joey Boza, concussion. Running back Troy Pope, concussion, doubtful. Cornerback Casey Haywood, calf, not injury related. Defensive end Isaac Rochelle, neck. Guard Tracy Turner, groin. Safety Jaleel Adade, hamstring. Cornerback Brandon Fascion, illness, are all questionable. Steelers at the Cowboys. Steelers defensive end Tyson Alualu, knee, he's out. Cornerback Mike Hilton, shoulder. Offensive lineman Stefan Wisniewski, pectoral, doubtful. Tight end Vance McDonald, EIO, illness, questionable. For the Cowboys, punter Chris Jones, abdomen, he's out. Running back Ezekiel Elliott, hamstring. Defensive end Alden Smith, knee. Linebacker Joe Thomas are all questionable. Dolphins, Cardinals, Dolphins. Running back Matt Breida, hamstring, out. Cornerback Jamal Perry, foot, questionable. Cardinals. Running back Kenyon Drake, ankle. Cornerback Drake Kilpatrick, thigh. They're both out. Defensive line Jordan Phillips, hamstring. Linebacker Zeke Turner, toe. They're questionable. Saints and Buccaneers. Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas, ankle, hamstring, questionable. Buccaneers guard Ali Marpet, concussion, he's out. Wide receiver Chris Godwin, finger, he's questionable, as he should be. Patriots at the Jets are to be announced and determined. So stand by on that. And those are your injuries to report. Yes, sir. All right, we got more still to come. Want to remind you, Nick Ricciardo has his Friday Night Brain Trust tonight. And I'm going to swig me a little bit more lemonade. Skull. Oh, tasty. Yep. We got to tell you that coming up tonight at midnight, it's the Friday night Knights of the Round Table edition of Lost Blaming the Interwebs with humble Minnesota attorney Nick Ricciardo. And tonight, the fun has just begun. Once again, I hope they're not talking the election. Tonight, the Friday Flex. It's Flash. It's Drex. On the Friday Flex tonight. And you can see it live and in color on the Ricciardo channel here on YouTube. It is Flash and Drex with the maestro of madness, Mr. Magic himself, Nick Ricciardo. Tonight, midnight Eastern time. Only the wildest thing this close to pizza bread. Yes, I'm talking. The Ricciardo channel, only on YouTube. Okay, let's get some Major League Baseball news. Some more. Washington is in transition. It didn't take long for him to start remaking the organization, beginning with a split from troubled general manager. Hi there. Brody Van Wagen, who will be leaving the club, according to the New York Daily News' correspondent. Hi there. Deshir Thorzar and MLB.com's Anthony DiComo, who reported that a number of other high-ranking Mets executives are also on their way out as part of the turnover, including former GM Omar Minaya. Van Wyk, the Mets, made a number of splashy moves, albeit it's unclear if he'll return to that side of the game now. Later on Friday, he released a statement in response to the news. It read in part, quote, "Congratulations to Steve Cohen on the purchase of your hometown competitiveness and resources will be welcomed by Major League Baseball. The sport can benefit from your fearlessness and aggressiveness. Lastly, and most importantly, to the Mets players, Major League Baseball exists because of your extraordinary talent and teamwork. Your commitment to be the best you can be every day is inspiring. Your performance brings family and friends closer to each other and unites us as a community. Thank you for you, the memories of the past, present, and future. The only question I have is what memories? The Mets will now install former general manager Sandy Alderson, who was the head of the baseball operations department. They are expected to add additional high ranking executives, including a new GM. Speculation around the industry has linked Oakland Athletic and that's the assistant GM. It's anyone's guess as to whether the Mets will retain manager Luis Rojas. He, of course, was thrown into a difficult situation, taking over after the club split ways with Carlos Beltran because of his role in the Houston Astros sign stealing scandal. Ah, yes, the scandal to rest. Okay. Well, the Georgia Air Attack, which has been very good this past season and even to today, is going to be a little shorthanded versus Florida. After missing last week's game against Kentucky, Georgia sophomore wide receiver George Pickens is expected to be out again this week when the number 5 Bulldogs play number 8 Florida, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Pickens is Georgia's second leading receiver with 13 receptions for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns this season. Pickens' absence with an upper body injury loomed large last week as the Bulldogs struggled in the passing game during the 14-3 win at Kentucky. Georgia generated just 131 passing yards, and its leading receiver was running back James Cook with 4 receptions. In total, quarterback Stetson Bennett IV distributed just 4 of his 9 completions to wide receivers in the game with Pickens absent. The former 5-star prospect led Georgia with 49 catches for 727 yards and 8 touchdowns, while earning a spot on the coach's freshman All-SEC team last season. Georgia's ability to generate an effective passing game has been a concern this season after Wake Forest transfer quarterback Newman opted out of this season. Bennett, a former walk-on, has quarterbacked the Bulldogs to a 4-1 start, but beating a high-powered Florida offense might just require Georgia to keep pace offensively. With Pickens out, it could be another opportunity for Kettis Jackson to shine. The redshirt sophomore has been a bright spot for the Bulldogs this season. After catching just 5 passes last season, he's leading the team in receptions and yards, receiving with 24 catches for 348 yards. And that's pretty damn good, if you ask me. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Boston Red Sox have done the impossible. Remember last year, the Red Sox, they hired a new manager and then fired him. What we're going to call Astrogate, a vacancy in Major League Baseball, when they named Alex Cora as their new skipper. Skipper! Thank you. Announcing Ron Renicky would return for the 2021 season. The 2 finalists for the position, actually, Ron Renicky would not return for the upcoming season. That is the better word. The 2 finalists for the position were believed to be Cora and Sam Flood, a former big league outfielder who had worked alongside Red Sox executive Chaim Bloom during their shared time with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, Cora said the following in a statement released by the team. Quote, "I'm excuse me, let's try again. Quote, I am grateful for the opportunity to manage once again and return to the game I have loved my entire life. This past year, I have had to this past year, I've had time to reflect and evaluate many things, and I recognize how fortunate I am to lead this team once again. Not being a part of the game of baseball and the pain of bringing negative attention to my family and this organization was extremely difficult. I am sorry for the harm my past actions have caused and will work hard to make this organization and its fans proud. I owe John Henry, Tom Werner, Mike Gordon, Sam Kennedy, Chime Bloom, and Brian O'Halloran my gratitude for giving me another chance. I'm eager to get back to work with our front office, coaches, and especially our players. Boston's where I have always wanted to be, and I could not be more excited to help the Red Sox achieve our ultimate goal of winning in October. The 45-year-old Cora held the Red Sox job for 2 seasons before he was dismissed in January in response to his role in the Houston Astros sign stealing scandal. Now, it should be noted that the Red Sox were later investigated and punished for their own technological misconduct. The Red Sox replaced Cora with Renicky, who had previously served as Cora's bench coach. Cora was later through the postseason. Wow. Cora won 59.3%. Clearly, the Red Sox will occupy a different spot on the win curve heading into the 2021 season, or at least will if they don't have an aggressive winner. Boston went 24-36 this season, finishing last in the American League East for the first time since 2015. The Red Sox 41.7 winning percentage was their worst since the 30s. Now, the Red Sox were one of 3 teams to change managers this winter. As you know, the White Sox hired Tony La Russa after dismissing Manager of the Year finalist Rick Renteria. The Detroit Tigers, meanwhile, replaced the retiring Ron Gardenshire with A.J. Hinch, who, like Cora, was part of the Astros sign-stealing controversy and served a year's suspension from baseball. The hour of midnight here on a Super Saturday, still Friday on the West Coast. We have a couple of games in the NC2A to give to you. Let's go to college football and the scoreboard and the preview of the other games that will be knocking heads this week. And right now we got a couple of games that are, for want of a better term, still playing. 5:59 remaining in the fourth quarter. This game on the CBS Sports Network. San Jose leads San Diego State. San Jose State leads San Diego State 21-17. 9:33 left to play in the third. 21-ranked Boise State being embarrassed by 9th-ranked BYU 23-3. Let's okay, we got a couple of updates. Fourth quarter, 6:06 remaining. It's 21-17 San Jose State versus San Diego State. And 9:33 left to play on a game on FS1, BYU 23, number 9 ranked BYU 23, number 21 ranked Boise State 3. Number 11, Miami of Florida defeated NC State 44-41. Now let's give you what's coming up Saturday. Let's start with the noon games. On ESPN2, it's North Carolina and Duke. On ESPN3, University of Louisiana Monroe taking on Georgia State. 12 on ABC, it is West Virginia and 22nd ranked Texas. ESPN Plus will have Tulane and East Carolina, as well as number 18 SMU over Temple. ESPN will have Arkansas State and Louisiana. ESPN Plus will have South Florida and Memphis. Fox Sports 1 will entertain the 23rd ranked Wolverines of Michigan and the 13th ranked Indiana Hoosiers. BTN will be your home for Nebraska and Northwestern. The ACC network, powered by ESPN, will have number 25 Liberty and Virginia Tech. The Big Rock Dad at Fox will have number 20 USC and Arizona State. ESPN will showcase Michigan State at Iowa. The 1 o'clock Seoul game will be Troy and Georgia Southern on ESPN3. Boston College takes on Syracuse at the 2 o'clock hour on a network to be determined. Massachusetts takes on 16th ranked Marshall on ESPN Plus 2:30. Your 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock games are as follows. On ESPN Plus, it's Appalachian State and Texas State. On ESPN Trace or ESPN3, North Alabama, Southern Miss. BTN will have Maryland and Penn State. SECN, the SEC network, powered by ESPN, of course, has Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. 3:30 on FS1. It's Texas Tech, TCU. ESPN has number 19th ranked Oklahoma and Kansas. BTN will have Minnesota and Illinois. CBS Sports Network will have Fresno State and UNLV. ABC brings you Houston and number 6 Cincinnati. CBS with their SEC game of the week will have number 8 Florida and number 5 Georgia, while the ACC network tackles Pittsburgh State and Florida State. Your 4 o'clock games, your other 4 o'clock game will be the 14th ranked Ohio State going up against Kansas State on Fox. At 6 o'clock, Western Kentucky and Florida Athletic will be on at 6. Then your 7 o'clock bell ringers, 17th ranked Iowa State up against Baylor on FS1. UCLA and Colorado go head-to-head on ESPN2. 7th ranked Texas A&M and South Carolina will also be on ESPN. Meanwhile, number 1 ranked Clemson hopes to keep their winning streak going as they take on 4th ranked Notre Dame on NBC. Tennessee up against Arkansas on the SEC network, powered by ESPN. Stanford against number 12 Oregon on ABC. Number 3 Ohio State against Rutgers on BTN. The late games, the games of joy and happiness, 8 p.m. It's South Alabama up against 15th ranked Coastal Carolina. 10:30 on FS1, Washington State and Oregon State. And at 11, it's New Mexico and Hawaii. Okay. Here are the games that have been postponed. Air Force and Army, which was to be on CBS. On CBS Sports Network, Tulsa and Navy were also postponed. Arizona and Utah on ESPN2 was postponed. University of Texas, San Antonio and Rice were postponed. ESPN3 would have been your destination for that. ESPN Plus game between Charlotte and Middle Tennessee postponed. FIU and UTEP get together and say to ESPN3 viewers, keep going. Postponement, Louisiana Tech and Northern Texas on CBSSN. Purdue and number 10 Wisconsin was canceled. Washington and California was canceled. And I think we've done these guys. If not, we will do them fast. Toledo over Bowling Green, 38-3. Buffalo over Northern Illinois, 49-30. Ball State and Miami State, 31-38. Central Michigan over Barrels. Houston, 30-27. And Western Michigan does the same number over Akron. They took the zip out of them, 56-13. And Toledo over Bowling Green, 38-3. Buffalo and Northern Illinois, 49-30. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, let's keep on going strong here. We are at 12:14. We end at 12:30. And we remind you to watch us rebirth. Anyway, there we go. Let's see. Want to do shout outs, maybe? Just tell me what you want, guys. Okay. Okay, this is definitely now the start of the second season. If no one wins, well, that's going to be bad luck for somebody. Yes, how do we know? It's a living. Okay, we're at 12:15 right now, and what we are going to do this shining moment is and what we're going to do right now is I have no idea what it is that we are going to do. Boy, it's hard to do anything when you're in slow march towards where you were. There we go. Oh boy. This has been rather an unusual night for me, and I just want to say I met my new doctor at the Center for Family Health. That new doctor is fun, and the entire staff was really good. So there you go. I go in the next, question, but it's already been answered anyway. We're at 12:16. Let's get to some hellos. Angela Peterson, Yuki Tanaka, Anne-Marie Mann, Jay the Brain Man, Matthew Nichols, Jerry Nichols, and Nancy Nichols. We say hello to Bobby Langford, Yvonne Marie, Donna Payne, Ricky Pickrell, Brutal Metzler, Jay Moran, Alan Oberoff, and anyway, sorry about that. But, well, we've got Ricky Pickrell, Brutal Metzler, Alan Oberoff, and, well, let's see, who else do we have? Amy Hayes, Frida Hayes, Morris Hayes, Stacy Hayes, Sammy Phillips, Samantha O'Neill, Casey Ann, Monica Cram, Liberty Lang, Brenda Dixon, January J. Keaton, and, of course, Sandra Douglas. It is 17 minutes past the hour of midnight Eastern Time, and I am very glad that we're getting close to the end tonight. I got my flu shot, and I got a tetanus shot. And coming soon, a colonoscopy. So there you go, fun. And we say hi to Sandra Douglas, Vanessa Douglas, and Sabrina Kyle, as well as Monica Cram. Okay. We have and Joseph Yusuf Diaz, Peggy Ann Bice, Jennifer Finney, Jennifer Torres, Sandra Flores, and Todd Klemfer, and Kika Bachman Tech, and of course, the ever lovable sage and seer of all things good. We all need a hug for this week. And of course, hi to Bobby Strauss, Mark Wilson, Claire, the Stair, Flannery, and a whole lot more. We say hello to the Twitter folks and hello to the Instagram folks. And now we can stand up. And have we done the ESPN report? Not yet, but we're going to right now. as we bring you up to date, not up late. As that old chestnut goes. Okay, ESPN, as you well know, is laying off some behind the scenes and on air personalities. And this one's going to hurt ESPN even more if it hasn't already. Among those let go by ESPN in the network's latest wave of layoffs is Claire Smith, the first woman to win the Baseball Writers Association of America's J.G. Spink Award. Put another way, ESPN laid off a writer whose work is permanently recognized by the Baseball Hall of Fame. Spink's Award winners are inducted in the Hall of Fame per se, but are included in an exhibit at the Cooperstown Museum. In addition to being the first woman to earn the Spink Award, Smith was also the fourth African American to receive the honor from the Baseball Writers Association of America. Given for meritorious contributions to baseball writing, Smith, at the ageless term of 66, was recognized for her work in 2017. She was baseball's first female beat reporter, covering the New York Yankees for Hartford Courant from 1983 to 1987. During her career, Smith was also a columnist for the New York Times and editor and columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer. Now, for her first baseball story, Smith covered Pete Rose's passing Stan Musial for first place on the National League all-time hits list. As she mentioned in a tweet following news of her layoff, Smith's career was close to 40 years of baseball coverage. Subsequently honored by the Jackie Robinson Foundation, Smith paid tribute to those who broke barriers before her, though she was far too modest in recognition of how much of a pioneer she was in her profession. Quote, being kicked out of a locker room one day in my 35-year career, that's just a tiny little misstep, Smith said, referring to an 84 incident in which she was asked to leave the San Diego Padres clubhouse. That is not trial. That is not tribulation. It's nothing at all compared to what mom and dad, and Jackie and Rachel Robinson, and all the folks that came before them and alongside of them went through. What do I possibly have to gripe about? Absolutely nothing. At ESPN, Smith was a news editor for remote productions, responsible for working news and analysts into live games and into live game broadcasts and the network studio shows such as SportsCenter and Baseball Tonight. She was among 300 layoffs by the work, in addition to 200 open positions that won't be filled, resulting in 20 let's see, she was among 300 layoffs by the work, in addition to 200 open positions that won't be filled, resulting in 500 jobs eliminated. ESPN veteran Bob Lee was highly critical of the company following the dismissals, especially those let go after distinguished careers in journalism. Trying to remain objective and unemotional as I learn of the ESPN team members laid off today. Not possible, not as I see countless decades of journalistic experience and expertise jettisoned. Just when we need it most, enjoy the Disney stock price in your NFL football. And another long-time ESPN writer included among the layoffs was Ivan Maisel, who produced columns, features, and TV pieces for the network during a nearly 20-year career. And I got to tell you, ESPN, you really blew it this time. Truly a sickening thud, as it were. Okay, speaking of thuds, it's time to complete the week. It's time for the scoreboard. Not a moment too soon. And not a moment too soon. Oh, man. What a night it's going to be. Okay. Let's get everybody updated on some soccer, some baseball, and everything else they're in, and then we will say our good nights to you. And boy, oh boy, will we say our good nights to you. Okay, let's get you updated. The Premier League in England, Brighton and Burnley ended in a 0-0 tie. Southampton beat Newcastle 2-0. In Das Bundesliga, Werder Bremen and FC Köln tied at 1. Sassuolo in the Series A Italia, Sassuolo and Udinese tied at 0. And in La Liga, Elche and Celta Vigo also ended up tied. In basketball, in the EuroLeague, Fenerbahce and Kai Miki, 83-71 by Fenerbahce. Real Madrid over Zalgiris Kaunas, 93-90. Bayern over Ravenna Zvezda Mountains, 74-59. CSKA Moscow over Pantikalos, 89-83. Valencia over Olympia Milano, 86-81. In baseball, it took extras, but the Akut Swallows beat the Chunichi Dragons 5-4. Tanemoto got the loss. He's 1-3. McGow got the big win. He's 4-1. Oric Buffaloes over the Nippon Ham Fighters 4-3, 4-6-1. For the Buffaloes, 3-10-1. For the Ham Fighters, Miyagi for the Buffaloes gets the win. He's 1-1. Kawano for the Ham Fighters gets a loss. He's 3-5. The Rakuten Golden Eagles defeated the Cebu Lions 4-2, 4-9-0 for the Eagles, 6-0 for the Lions. Kishi, your winner for the Eagles. He's 7-0. Amaya got the loss for the Lions. He's 3-3. 2 games that are in progress. In the first inning, Rakuten Golden Eagles lead the Cebu Lions 2-1. And in the second inning, it's scoreless between the Hiroshima Carp and the Hanshan Tigers. And on that note, we are officially done. That's right, kids. We're done. We are complete. We're done. And we thank you for all the excitement, all the fun, all the vim, all the schedule, and all the craziness that is tonight. And don't worry, the hair is getting cut sometime this week. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being a part of it. My eyes did close up for a while, but they are open for business, and so are we. That is going to wrap it up for us. We'll be back Saturday night at 11:35 with more excitement, more sports final, and more fun than a barrel full of progressive monkeys. Maybe then we'll find out who our next president is, unless we already know. But it's going to be fun. And the sports final will, of course, be your comedy sports showcase. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll see you Saturday night at 11:35. Good night, everybody. And as usual, your favorite teams always be winners. And good night, America, wherever and whomever you are. Much blessings. Have a great weekend. Good night.